Hello again, everyone! If you are watching this video, then that means we are once more gaming by Gaslight, and today we're checking out Timberborn 1.0, or at least the experimental build. 1.0 may well be out by the time I'm able to get this video out, so we'll kind of see. But whatever the case, let's jump on in. With a new game, and I think also I've never played Ironteeth, so we're going to play Ironteeth. And I want to do a map I have never played before. I kind of like this. Pressure, creative plumbing, first skill. Beaver has to learn. Also, it's we'll play on normal mode because I'm really not a master at these kinds of games, or at least I like to play more casual things. Also, I feel like that cackle I made. Ugh. Anyway. We'll call our little town Ironwood, because why not? And let's kind of zoom out and take a look at what we're dealing with here. If you're not familiar, by the way, Timberborn is a game, a post-apocalyptic city builder sort of thing, or post-apocalyptic, I suppose. The apocalypse happened long ago. We humans, we screwed up. We killed ourselves off. Beavers have inherited the planet. And basically we have to manage, you know, building civilization in a world where water is a very real scarcity. And also all the... excuse me. Getting over a cold here. Also have to deal with all the pollution and other horrible things that, you know, the human race left behind. Looking at this cool little map, we're sort of in the center, in this little, kind of safe zone surrounded by a bunch of toxic, contaminated water, which... I'm not 100% sure if bad water is supposed to be anything specific, or if it's just sort of like a general, you know, nasty poison conglomerate. It's very red, lots of iron in there, probably. Anyway, just taking a look around. The big gimmick, I guess, of this map is we have these unstable cores, which, as you can see, they will inevitably explode. There's really nothing we can do. They'll blow up at some point, and as we can see, we do get an idea of what the radius is, so we know where the flood is going to end up, you know, coming in. And this right here, if we look at it, we could actually probably cap this off before it explodes. And then, you know, this won't really be a problem for us. I mean, just need... I'm thinking that we might not even need to raise the walls all that high. Well, let's not get too crazy here. I guess we should probably try to raise them at least up to here. I was thinking maybe we could get away with this, as, you know, when it blows up, that may change the flow. If we look around, we also see there's a water seep here, giving us a little bit of fresh water. We've got this right here. That's another one, which will send water flooding down into our little valley. So we're going to want to block this off as soon as possible. We also have some nasty thorns here that will cut us up if we try to go through them, so we probably want to avoid that. And another thing, also this is a neat little thing that I only recently discovered while I was getting ready to record. We can kind of just click and drag and woo, see all the layers, which is much more efficient than just that. Anyway. If we go down to the very bottom of the map, we can kind of see where, like, all the underground water stuff is. We can also see there's a lot more explodey bits. Like, this right here is going to cause a lot of water to just flow away and be lost. Not 100% sure. Let's just kind of step up. I mean, as we can see here, water is not actually rising that high. Actually, this whole thing appears to be kind of like an underground cavern that does not actually end up being exposed to the surface. So if we go, again, back down here, not 100% sure if I feel what the point of opening this would be. Maybe there's a point, maybe not. But anyway, let's worry about that later. The actual source of our water is right here. And if we look here... Oh. No. That's not it. Right. Over here. let's go back down into the water here. So right here is where water comes up to where we're at. So I'm thinking, since as far as I know, I don't think beavers actually have to breathe. In real life, obviously they do, because they're mammals. And as far as I know, there is no mammal yet that has evolved with gills. So anyway, what we want to do is build some stairs down here, get into this underwater tunnel. We might want to, like, block it off in order to increase the amount of water that actually stays around our area. Because, like, also look over here. This will cause some problems. We have a problem over here. I don't think there's anything I can really do until this blows up, and then we'll want to wall it off at that point. That's going to let some bad water in, which, naturally, not good. Just kind of a little slow start here, but there's also another possibility that I could wall off this entirely, so no water down to the valley initially at all. Because if we keep stepping up here, I mean, this is also not terribly great, though using water controls, which are something we'll eventually get more of as we unlock technology and stuff. We could put like a sluice gate here, and then like filter out bad water, or we'll talk more about that when bad tides and stuff like that get in here. But anyway, if we keep ticking our way up, just a little step by step, we eventually get here. And so we could have water flowing down over here, and then back into the valley over this away. Or over yonder this away as well, but I don't think we really want that. We want our water to stay here. But anyway, if we also keep stepping up, step by step by step, you will see, actually, you know what? Let's just go straight here. We eventually get here, and I'm thinking to myself, if we get our water to actually, it's a bit risky, but if we get our water to like start at the top of the map and then drain back down, it also opens up a lot more real estate for life. Because as you can see here, this is all dead and dry. This is nice and green and alive. We want more green than brown, I guess. Brown and gray. You know, but all stuff to consider. And, you know, again, there's like going to be a lot of things we have to prepare ourselves for with these little cores. So it's a bit of a stressful, or at least a higher stress map than some of the other places we could potentially start on. And I do like the idea. There's a part of me that wants to try and migrate up to the top of this mountain, just because then we'd at least be safe. Because I just know myself, I'm not going to end up actually properly capping things off and then we're going to get flooded. But then again, that could be half the fun, watching our delightful, adorable, friendly beavers die a horrible, painful death due to my gross incompetence. Doesn't actually sound that fun to me, but, you know. Who am I to deny the masses, or something, to that general effect. I'm going to leave a little bit of space around here, because we're going to want to do more with this pond eventually, I think. Maybe make it wider, maybe not, we will see. But I do want to try and move some of our operations over here, because again, like with it'll be a bit dangerous having it in the shadow of the toxic sludge, but as long as this doesn't blow up immediately, as you can see, we don't actually get to see when it's going to blow up. It says dormant now, so I wonder if it's going to give us a bit of a warning, so we have time. There's also a lot of metal up here. I'm wondering if these are going to get destroyed when this goes off. If so, that means we should probably rush metal and try to get all the metal out of here, you know, before it's gone, just because otherwise we'll have to, you know, go looking for metal farther afield. Which, there's some late game stuff to help speed along the process, but, you know, we'll get to that when we go. The other thing I suppose we should address here, as we're, you know, 10 minutes into the episode, without really doing anything, is how do Ironteeth grow? Because Folktails, they get it on the old-fashioned way, but for our Irontails, they also, I skipped past it when we were selecting which group, but, you know, if you go back, I believe it's explicitly mentions, like, the Ironteeth were, like, lab-grown or something. There's some neat little lore implications there. But yeah, they grow in little breeding pods. So the Ironteeth as a faction are kind of, like, a lot more about technology and cool stuff like that. which is pretty cool. All right, so getting into what we actually want to do to get started here. I think we probably want to build at least 2 barracks. And maybe I don't want to... Maybe I shouldn't get too worried. They're not watertight, so I can't, like, use them here to create some kind of weird mega project or something to that effect. Mildly unfortunate for me, but, you know. Let's see. I guess we could build up here. But that means we can't really build homes until we get stairs. I mean, I don't have to be perfect right away either. That's another thing I'm probably... That's a classic stumbling point for me, I think, is that I get into my head that I have to build like a super perfect mega complex right off the bat, but that's really not true. So maybe I shouldn't you know, force it too much. We'll just kind of have like this main thoroughfare here. We have houses, and then we want our breeding pods probably close to the homes. And by default, having looked into it before starting, because I like learning things as I go, but I also like having a little bit of a heads up on what I'm doing. Each breeding pod can support a population of about 10 beavers. So if we want to keep, a steady population, then, 1 means we would have eventually only 10 beavers. 2 gets us up to 20, 3 gets us up to 30. And I think 30 beavers is a pretty reasonable population, at least, to get ourselves started. But I guess I also don't need to breed or build the breeding pods next to the homes. Maybe maybe we don't want to do that. I could slightly more efficiently get the delete tool to delete these. But actually, before I do that, let's you hit the B button while hovering over something. You can actually if you don't have anything selected to build already and you hit B, then you can kind of quick build it. Yeah, I just want to put the breeding pods somewhere where I'm okay with them and where I can, maybe add more as we go along. So, like, maybe something like that, and then, maybe eventually we'll, put more on the other side. And we can also eventually unlock advanced pods so that our beavers can come out of the pods fully grown rather than having to wait for them to grow up from being kits, which is also kind of cool. Just because, then it means they can get to work all the faster. And get rid of you. Alright, so that's that. We probably, when it comes to storage, we probably want to build some warehouses to start getting food. And eventually we're going to want to start building some vertical stuff, but I figure for now, maybe something like this is acceptable. Not 100% sure what my plan is, but, we'll eventually get there. Okay, we want to store berries, and what is another piece of food here? Kohlrabies. I've probably horribly butchered whatever that's actually supposed to be. If we look at our crops, what kind of crops do we want to grow? Kohlrabi. Again, I'm butchering that, aren't I? Alright, I think we'll put our farm over here. Which, again, putting it in the shadow of this looming unexploded ordnance. Little scary, but, we'll probably be fine. Go over to food here. We want... First of all, of course, we want this gatherer flag. Kind of like the idea of having our gatherers get these blueberries, like, right next to the breeding pods, because the breeding pods, I believe once they're built, they need... I think it's water and blueberries in order to grow. So, there's that. Fermenter, that's going to be something eventually. Oil press, hydroponic garden for hydroponics. And yeah, so there's some neat stuff here. And also a coffee brewery at some point. Let's see here. I want to put you somewhere. I think I might extend the river a little bit at some point, so I'm not going to build right next to it. And let's see here. We want a couple of crops, if possible. Let's see here. 5x5 seems all right. And then I get another 5x5 on the other side. Pretty sure. Can't hit B to then grow more of those. So yeah, sort of like, we've got 10 of those. Canola, soybeans. Can you eat soybeans raw? Is that a thing? Corn feels like something you could eat raw. Let me just quickly take a peek over here, as these are finished foods. Mangrove, fermented cassava, fermented soybeans, fermented mushrooms, corn rations. The raw corn is its own thing. Okay, so I want to focus on... We'll just have these two things at first, and we will start growing some cassava. Just because, you know, it's probably a good idea. And let's see here. You know, let's let time tick while we're waiting. We also need a couple of lumberjacks, which let's just maximum the prioritizing of these, and go ahead and I shouldn't cut down everything right away until we you know, have proper forestry going so we can replant these. But I am going to go pretty hard on trying to get logs, if at all possible, to start us off with. Mostly because there's a lot of work we have to do, and we might as well just, you know, get right in there and get it done as quickly as possible. So, yeah, something kind of like that, and we'll get even crazier going forward. Let's see, I want this to be a high priority job. High priority, or higher priority building, though I should probably make water production our top priority, you know, because without water, there is no life. And I think we're going to need 2 of these. Actually, do I want to put one of the water production plants over here? Maybe, maybe not. Again, this is feeling kind of messy to me, but, you know, it's, we can maybe put some nice decorations in here. Because we eventually are going to want to, once we get things more or less established, we will, of course, want to start building some recreation and putting down some decorations, because the happier your beavers are, the harder the work, the faster they move, you know, all that good stuff. We got to get as much going as quickly as we possibly can. And we're also going to want to dam off in here so that when the dry season comes, you know, our water lasts a little bit. And I don't really want our beavers to have to go through this. I wonder if I can just blow it up. It's probably not that easy. It'd be nice if it was, but I doubt it is. Also, maybe I should make these the top priority jobs. And of course, because without any water, there is no life. Let's make sure that's a high priority as well. And we want a little bit of water. I usually like having a couple of these stored. Oh yeah, see, everyone is getting dehydrated. We probably want at least maybe one over here, because eventually we'll have beavers spending more time over here as we not just add to the farm, but as we, you know, end up doing other things as well. And another thing we are going to want to do as well, we need science, but eventually I want to try blocking off this a little bit to increase the water flow, because then, of course, that means we get more power, which we are also going to want. As you can see, not getting the greatest horsepower at the moment, but we'll get that eventually. So what I'm thinking for now, though, like, we know what we want to dam here. We might want to dam even farther down, just to, you know, have more green space. But this seems like a decent spot. We're going to want to get a levee. But our first priority should be to save up for a forester, because, again, once we run out of trees, if we don't have a means of continuously growing new ones, then we're just screwed because we can't build anything. Alright, jolly good. I'm gonna lower you back down to 2, so that whatever job wasn't getting fulfilled there a moment ago will actually get filled. And once the breeding pods are up, and our numbers start growing, I should probably make this a high priority as well. Because beavers will get water out of this, but I believe it's more efficient. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, because we're just going to be storing the water directly next to where we're pumping it, but, you know, still. It's also a larger reserve, so that rather than these guys being idle once they eventually, you know, fill their stuff. Oh, we actually have someone who's not doing anything. So if I wanted, I could try to get someone chopping thorns here. Or I could try to speed things up with the wood gathering operation over there. I'm almost wondering if maybe I should cancel this for now. And we have established each barrack stores... How many people? 10. So I'm actually going to need 3 barracks. It's making me wonder if maybe this was a dumb idea. Building these over here. You know what? I am kind of feeling it was a dumb idea to put it there. So let's cancel those. We'll worry about storage later. I'm going to just... I'm going to do this. Just kind of thinking about how I want our barracks to be. We'll leave these here. We'll end up with homeless beavers eventually, but in the short term, we'll probably be fine. We do need to store our food. This is going to be eventually our lumber emporium, which also again makes me think that I should probably consider putting a storage pile-y thing over here for our wood. Again, not the most efficient having our... like, if we do most of our tree chopping over here, but then all the woodwork is over here. Not the most efficient, but again, it's not the worst thing. So, again, don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. And, you know, just kind of keep going. And I guess also thinking about the future, we want a lumber mill over here. And a power plant right next to it. We'll actually probably want... I mean, I guess I could just try to build some of these things straight across the river. Likely not the most efficient, but we'll see how that works out. So actually, I wonder... You know what, we'll fiddle with things as we go. I might actually want to prioritize getting the science operation going. I'll put it here for now, probably going to eventually relocate things. And I don't actually think I have to get rid of these stumps, but maybe just to get me to stop overthinking and micromanaging whatever it is I'm doing with, like, the setup of stuff. One of my big problems I find in a lot of these management building type games is I sometimes try to, like, over-optimize things when what I should really be doing is just getting something that works, and then, you know, as we unlock technology and whatnot, that's when and we get new building opportunities and new things to, you know, really make things come together. That's when I start, you know, maybe tearing down the old stuff and building in, you know, a longer term proper situation. And, like, another thing we might eventually want to do is, instead of using clean water to have our water network, like, I mean, look at the flow here, which actually, I am going to go ahead and let's actually be smart about this. I'm going to get rid of these for now. Might even pause them just because. But, like, as you can see here, there's a much, much stronger current. So if we could build over here instead, like, okay, when these go off, it's going to mess with the current as well a little bit. But if we go over here to power and look at our water wheels, I mean, as you can see, this is a much, much better kind of Yeah, it's much better for us. We get much more power with much less work. And if we kind of dam up some of the sides here to make a thinner straightaway, then we could probably get some, even cooler stuff going there as well. So that's probably something to think about. And then if we look at our paths and structures, we can eventually build 2 buoys, which, they require metal, so I feel like this is a bit of a more late game thing, but it lets us move people further. Also, just a little quick check here. Okay, so we're moving 5% faster at well-being 4. We need to get to 5, and then we'll work 20% faster. And we got to get to 7 to live a little bit longer. No, we're actually already doing a pretty good job working on that. So there is that. Again, got to be mindful not to chop the entire forest right away. Because you want to leave a couple of trees, because new trees will grow in the tiles surrounding like wild trees anyway. So we want to leave some of these. I don't think I have to get rid of the stumps in order for new ones to grow. But aesthetically, I kind of like... Also, we're up to well-being 5, so we're getting a little bit of a work boost there, which is always good. It means that we'll get more done in less time. Which, again, always good. Right. So I'm pretty happy, and we're growing more beavers. Again, big plus. So at this point... Oh, we have beavers who are waiting to get jobs done. And I just want to quickly check again here. So 75 horsepower is needed in order to efficiently run. And there is nowhere here I can get 75 horsepower. So again, if I want more power, the only way I can actually achieve that is to dam up the river a little bit. Which, I think even just the regular dam would help with that. This will run even at, not peak efficiency. Or it doesn't need... it says it needs 75 horsepower to run, but I think that's only if you want it to run at maximum speed. It will still operate at less, which, again, for now, we don't need to be perfect right away. That's really, honestly, a tagline I should adopt in my own life much more often. You don't need to be perfect right away. A lot of stuff in life is about incrementally getting places. Which also has me thinking, probably want to get a fermenter going here, which requires power. So actually putting it over here and then building stuff all across the river would not be terrible, I don't think. I think I'd put it here, because then I can kind of, I'm going to need a couple of these. But I won't build it yet. We'll sort of play with that a little. Yeah. Just max you out, just so that you're doing stuff for now. And then we just wait for power. We start making our planks. And again, the big thing I'm trying to save up for is the levee, but our first priority should probably be getting a forester. And there we go. It's gonna... I kind of like the idea of having as much as possible a path over here. We're eventually going to want something just to make sure beavers efficiently get over here. You don't need paths in order to actually have beavers go places, but you do need to have a path going that connects back to a district center if you want, work to actually get done. Alright, I'm going to just chop all these trees. Again, taking a bit of a risk, getting all this stuff out of here before we've properly established a forestry, but I'm fairly confident that we're going to be all right. Fairly confident. Also, just want to do a quick check. Just trying to think to myself how I want to fit everything in, because I'm not 100% sure yet. I might have to build some kind of overpass eventually. You know, if I put something here. Yeah. And we're doing all right. Also, we do have our forestry at this stage. Yeah. All right. Might as well get that going. And what do we want? We're going to need a couple of different types of tree. And we can also plant some stuff here. I could start planting coffee bushes over here or something, because then it'll still be in range of our gatherer. Alright, that's useful to consider. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to get rid of you. Sorry. And I'm going to put the forester, like, right next to the lumberjacks. I might move things around eventually here. Alright, I think the big thing is we want some oaks, which are the most efficient tree in terms of, like, the logs and time expenditure required. But they do take 30 days to grow for 8 logs, which means that relying solely on them, probably not the best for us. Let's see here. This must be partially submerged in water. Useful to know. Pine tree, 12 days for 2 logs. I'm gonna pretty much ignore birches. Yeah, I want to grow a lot of oak. A lot of this. And we do want some pine, because we not only could use the wood, but it also, as you can see here, if you leave it growing for a certain amount of time, you end up start getting pine resin, which is needed for some later game goodies that we will want to take advantage of. I mean, I guess I could just start growing coffee bushes now. I don't think we're actually going to grow coffee anytime soon. But, you know, nice little thing. You know what, we'll put a little bit of coffee there. I don't think... Actually, do Ironteeth, let's see here. Hunger, fur, sleep, shelter, wet fur, assorted foods. Incidentally, just as a neat little thing worth mentioning, might as well let time tick by here while we're just chatting and waiting for stuff to finish getting built, is that, oh, we can also see where he, or he, she, whoever you are, where, or I guess you're all asexual because you grow in pods. Anyway, they sleep here, they work here. That's a neat little thing. And when it comes to food, from what I understand, beavers will basically try to cycle through each thing here in order, like, they'll eat, like, one thing one day and then another thing another day, or they might actually eat 3 different foods per day, something like that. Anyway, they try to cycle through because it maximizes their well-being, which, again, in turn, the higher their well-being, the more effective they are. What's going on over here? Oh, shite. Well, that's not good. Bit of a problem. Oh my god, and there's no one alive to work at the industrial lumber mill. Well, that's not good. Shite. Okay, I kind of screwed myself a little bit over there. How far do you reach? Alright, let's, we'll get our forester to put a bunch of blueberries here. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie me. I might actually want to migrate more stuff over here so that just everyone's operating in the same place. Make life, you know, a little bit more efficient. Just like eventually, probably going to move this somewhere else. Very disturbed by this, because, like, what happens if we can't grow our population? Bad things is... Oh, God, what's happening? Am I not growing enough food? I think I'm not... Oh, shite. Yeah, we're not growing enough food. I didn't think we were growing that fast. Apparently we are, and apparently I am not growing nearly enough food. So let's try and rectify that now. Gets a little easier to manage all this once you, you know, eventually end up having more different food types. Alright, so a little bit of that. And a little bit more cassava. But we are going to... Oh, wait. My thought was... Right. Okay, so... Gonna leave this space here for, like, food production as best I can. Alright, we do need a fermenter. We have a fair amount of wood. Alright, so we do want to basically build across the river after all. And if we go back to power here, then one of these little doodads, excuse me, and yeah, that should... Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie me. Oh yeah, and I guess we just mark everything for chopping. Alright, I'm just gonna chop everything. And if worse comes to worse... Actually, I might want to do something here. I don't know what exactly yet, but something. Because we don't really need water over here. Well, I guess we do in order to let the plants grow. But I'm going to want to figure out the cheapest way to, like, bridge our way over here. Maybe I do want to grow birch temporarily just to have, like, a small influx of, like, quick trees. And you know what? With that in mind, that's exactly what we're going to do. And, you know, like I keep saying, we'll figure out how to, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Alright. Maybe I'm just... maybe having 3 of those pods... Oh, we haven't even started here yet. Okay, that's... Good lord. Are people dying? People are dying of old age. They're not dying of non-old age yet. Okay, no recipe, no job. Okay, I'm feeling fairly certain we're going to have a mass die-off in a minute here. I'm going to turn you off. No one's working over here. That's not good. No one's working over here. Alright, I guess we'll slow that down. Is there any point in turning you on? Oh, I don't have a road. There we go. Alright. So we're off to a great start. A real great start. Okay, there's a couple of berries coming in. Alright, we're not dead yet. It's looking pretty rough, especially because all of our food is over here. Really need to build that storage at some point. Yeah. Okay, so... I think at this point... Oh, dear. Alright, I've definitely... I've gone too far. I've gone too far. Alright, let's cancel this. Alright, I've definitely... I've overextended us too far, too fast. Get rid of all those stumps, which apparently also gets rid of the other things. Slightly unfortunate for me, but again, life goes on. And I don't think we've yet put ourselves into a completely unsalvageable position. But I feel I have definitely put us into a position where we are much less well off than we could be. Alright, good. We are starting to work on our cassava, so that will get us, you know, some food in here. Which means we can get into... What does negative well-being do for us? Okay, it actually greatly penalizes our work efficiency, which, you know, in turn makes it harder for us to stay on top of things. Oh yeah, and I guess, you know, you kind of need a road. Didn't think this one all the way through, did I? Supposed to be facing the other way. Kind of we're getting back into place. Alright, so I could put something here, and I think this will... Oh no, this will not fit. So I can't just have them in a perfect little row. Again, you know, some poor city planning, but we figure out how to get by. Right, definitely not chopping this down until we get our plant. Oh, God, no, and we're not even... Alright. Fortunately, the first drought is only 2 days. So, even though this is all going to run out, I am 91% sure that we'll be okay. I mean, once we get the forestry going, then I'm going to get rid of one of these lumberjacks for now. How's the situation? I mean, we've had some people die of old age, but no one is dying of starvation right now, so that's a small plus. Really feeling a little stupid about my choice of setup, though. Well, I think we'll also save up, and I'm going to build another forestry over here. Or maybe eventually I'll try to move our berries and stuff over here, or something. Oh, that's going to be a real problem, isn't it? Oh dear, all the non-processed food. And no way to ferment the stuff because there's no water pressure. Really. Speaking of power, though, let's see here. We could eventually build a steam engine. And, of course, gravity batteries. But again, these require metal and gears, so they're a bit of a later game production. Because we have to get a hold of metal. And this only produces scrap metal, which we then need to smelt into real metal. Or, you know, workable metal. Oh, lordy. Alright, science-wise, we do actually have the ability to build our stuff there, though. So with that in mind, I'm going to put a little path over here. Gotta be careful about this again, as, you know, we've established at the beginning of all this, though I haven't really done anything to get us on top of this horrible situation. I mean, depending on when this goes off, if it goes off during a dry season, then it might not be too terrible. If it goes off while there's actually water flooding, then we could get a big splash of contamination. Though I guess, if we have contaminated water come down here, if it stays off of the plant... Well, actually, we'll get contamination here, which will also kill the plants anyway. So we do want to stop this at all costs. Which will probably be fairly expensive to actually manage, but again, we'll do the best we can. Alright. Power's coming back, slowly but surely. Right, we're just kind of waiting on planks now. Which, with that in mind, better freeze that. Because, well, we have 13 logs in here. Alright, we might actually not have to worry about that as much as I am, like, you know, making it sound. It also occurs to me, maybe we'll do 1 cycle per episode, and we'll kind of see how things go. So we're off to a rough start here. I'm pretty confident I can eventually turn this around, unless I horribly misjudge how much time we have to deal with these cores. But, you know, that's part of the fun, isn't it? So, with that in mind, thanks for joining me on this little journey. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see all you next time, I hope.